Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. I'm out of breath for some reason. I have no idea why, but welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are currently playing as WWF, the World Wrestling Federation, in the year 1998. We are in week 2 of the month of May, and we are building up to our next pay-per-view, Over the Edge, which is this Sunday. But before we get to booking the show, there is a couple things I want to cover real quick. First off, we are going to be booking Monday Night Raw. You may have noticed that when you clicked on the video that it was a Raw episode, and some of you may be wondering where Shotgun Saturday Night is, and I decided not to record Shotgun Saturday Night anymore. Unless it is in popular demand, and a lot of you, or not a lot of you, if a couple of you want to see me record Shotgun Saturday Night, then I have no problem doing it. I just feel it wasn't really much of something to record, and it was ending up more of like, oh, this is just a quick little here you go show, and not much really to storyline going to it. So I wasn't sure if people were just watching it to watch it because it was there, or if it mattered much. So if a lot of you want to see it come back, I'll bring it back. But for right now, we're gonna move past Shotgun Saturday Night, and I'll just show the results of the show before we book Monday Night Raw every time we go to Raw. So, or the pay-per-view, because it is before a pay-per-view as well, I believe. So before we get to booking Monday Night Raw, let's go to Shotgun Saturday Night, where we had two pre-show bouts. So the Kings, which is Brian Christopher and Mark Miro, defeating the new Blackjacks, which is Blackjack Windham and Blackjack Bradshaw, which I may or might not have plans for both of those teams. And then we had the Dudley Boys defeating Pimp Party, which is the team of the Godfather and Too Cold Scorpio. And then we move on to the show. We opened up with a light heavyweight title match, Takamichi Noku defeating El Chupacabra and Mascara Sagrada. We then had a hype promo where Legion of Doom, not League of Doom, excuse me, too much recent WWE. Legion of Doom hyping the upcoming bout against Double J and Kid Cash. Then we go on to RVD defeating Christopher Daniels in a match that I was a little bit disappointed in, Nerds and Geeks, because it got a 48 rating, and I was expecting a little bit higher from the two. They've had a better match in the past, and I don't know really what went wrong that night. And then we just did a quick little RVD laughing off the threat of Ahmed Johnson, because they are going to be taking each other on it over the limit with the European title on the line. We then gone on to a surprising match, actually, where D'Lo Brown defeated Midian, actually. I was a little surprised that this was the best match of the night. Got a 56 out of that, so a little surprised with that. Then we, of course, did a cheap Raw recap just to kind of progress the show and get a little bit of a better rating for it as well. And our main event got a 50 where Jeff Jarrett and Kid Cash defeated the Legion of Doom, so that's exciting. But either way, I have one more thing I'd like to cover before that. So you guys may remember a little while back we released Howard Finkel, and in the game it has something called rants, and rants can sometimes be good or bad. It happens when you usually release a wrestler before their contract is up, whether it is a paper appearance where it's more of an agreement, like I'm going to pay you from this amount of time, or something like that, or the written contract. If you release them before that, it happens randomly where the person you release may rant against your company, and it could be negative, where they talk about, Donald Trump, who is who I'm playing as, which is surprising because a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. I, for one, am not going to state my opinions about him. They're not good nor bad. I don't really have much of an opinion on him. Either way, that was just by accident I played the game. If I had a choice to go back, I'd do it as Mr. McMahon, but there's no real point to point out anymore. But either way, some people, if there was a rant in the game, that might say like something like, "Oh, Donald Trump was late on payments" or something like that. But other times it could be a good rant, and this happens in real life. They're normally called, or they're called in real life, shoot interviews, where a wrestler will be let go of their contract, and sometimes, normally they'll talk bad about the company, talking about the bad times they have there. But there have been moments where superstars talk about the good times they had and all that. And this time with Howard Finkel, he did do a shoot interview on us, and he actually talked about the good times he had in WWF, and notably he talked about his relationship with D'Lo Brown, and it shows back up, it reflects in the game that both him and D'Lo Brown have a strong friendship with each other, and that just goes to show that things do happen outside the game randomly, Whereas some relationships just start randomly, where you'll see China is dating Chad Patton. That won't happen because China's currently dating Triple H. But I was just saying something, or we'll see something like Farouk and Bruce Pritchard have suddenly have a strong relationship, or we do see some random things. We've seen it in the past where it'll be like um, Tim White and El Chupacabra don't like each other. That's one of them, or someone will form a friendship over their bond of love of animals or some shit. I don't know. It just happens a lot of the time. And here's another instance where a random relationship can happen. So that is that. We also did I cover it yet? I did. So this is actually a post-recorded, not post-recorded, but I attempted to record this episode before, but I was extremely parched, so I had to go downstairs and get a cup of water that I could drink throughout the video. So you may hear me drinking that throughout it, by the way. Like there. That's good water. H2O. But there was a backstage incident, and I couldn't catch it on camera because I did it in the previous thing. All it was, though, is Al Snow doing impressions of his colleagues. This one right here, some of you may be questioning. That happened on Shotgun Saturday Night. Hawk and Brooklyn Brawler almost had a fight, and I think I just gave Hawk a stern warning. Either way, I think I've got everything out of the way. Let's start off the show with Stone Cold Steve Austin, nerds and geeks. Let's have Stone Cold Steve Austin come out to the ring, and he's going to be, talking to the crowd, which I don't know where we're at right now, so we'll check real quick, but he'll be talking to the city that we're in, asking them how they're doing tonight, that blah, 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 oh, we're going to have a good show, what, all that. Starts talking some trash on Triple H, saying, you know what's going to happen at Over the Edge? What? I'm going to kick his ass. What? I'm going to stomp a mud hole in him. What? I'm going to beat him brutally. So far and so far. Going on and on about Triple H, hyping the upcoming bout at Over the Edge coming up. So we'll give that about, you know what? I'm gonna give that about 8 minutes. And I think Austin, prefers to work without a script, so we're going to do that. And then Austin gets interrupted by Mr. McMahon's music as the chairman of the WWE comes down to the ring. You hear the No Chance blaring over the sound system. I don't know why I was about to say studio system. And he tells Austin, you may not make it to Over the Edge this Sunday. You see, Triple H is promised a WWF World Title match. And I think the crowd here in blah, 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 I don't know where we're at, like I said, I forgot to check, deserves to see a championship match tonight. And Austin, blah, 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 they go, but, Austin's like, sure, whatever, I don't care, I'll take on anyone. And then McMahon's like, I'm glad you agree with me. So, real quick, before I book this angle, I want to see if there's another angle I can do like that. Let's see real quick. All right, well, we'll do this one. It's kind of like, we're also going to clone it. We're going to have him come out. And we're also going to have them both based off of entertainment, not microphone. So this is pretty much going to be the angle like I was saying. And Vince is basically coming out stating that you need to prove yourself and earn your match at Over the Edge. And then Austin, of course, fires back that I can beat anyone anywhere, and he'll put his title on the line right here, right now, in front of the crowd, wherever we are. And Mr. McMahon, of course, is like, I'm glad you agree. That's why I'm putting you in a match against Farouk. And we'll have this go on for another 8 minutes, so that's about a 16-minute start. I believe Austin, I just said that too. So that'll be a fun little angle right there. So Austin comes out hyping up the show. Then Mr. McMahon, of course, saying, well, you have to defend your title first to get to Over the Edge. So Steve Austin will battle Farouk, and this is the first time these two have ever had a match, minus, of course, the Royal Rumble we had. And it is going to be for the WWF World Heavyweight title on the show. Look at that. and we are going to give this the full 15 minutes. In fact, we're going to give it 16 minutes. Give it the full 16 minutes. It's going to be an open, slow build match, and we are going to put Mr. McMahon on commentary. And real quick, I would like to check if he is beautiful. So that's fun. And then just a little fun angle right here. Austin flips the bird to McMahon as he celebrates. Overness. Austin. And of course, McMahon is going to be on the mic. So I am not going to put him on overness, but we are going to put him on entertainment. Both are going to be on screen. Austin flips the bird to Vince. Commentary. Person 1 after winning his match adds insult to injury as he flips off person 2. Oops, I didn't put him on as rated. I'm glad I saw that first. And yeah, this won't be a long angle at all. It's only going to be a minute. What the heck? There we go. Mr. McMahon. Not a long angle at all. Just a quick little angle right there. And after that, we are going to do a match announcement. As tonight, we are going to see the WWF Tag Team Championships on the line as Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman, the winning combination, will defend their titles against Triple H and Shawn Michaels in the main event after last week's match where D-Generation X beat the Tag Team Champions. And then we are going to do a backstage interview where it's going to be rant against tag team opponents. But I am going to clone this real quick and have the tag team be not rated. Oops. Not rated because their overness isn't that great. So I don't want them to really bomb the angle just because of that. But there's a reason why I'm doing this, and I'll explain it after we have the match. So Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are backstage complaining about how they just found out tonight that they're not guaranteed a title match at Over the Edge. In fact, that they have to earn their title match tonight against the winning combination, and that they have to take on the new Blackjacks in order to go on to take on the winning combination at Over the Edge. So that sets up our next match of the night, where basically they're hyping up the match against Blackjack Bradshaw and Blackjack Windham. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on, I got to mute my mic before I do it. Oh no. Okay, I think we're better now. Hopefully you guys didn't hear that. Hopefully I muted my mic. I just discovered that I do have a mute switch on there. It was somewhere else, not where I'm used to. So hopefully you guys didn't have to hear me sneeze. So, just the Outlaws ranting on about the upcoming bout that they're on. Pretty much irritated that they have to compete in that. And then before it, I would like to do a ringside scouting where Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman coming out to scout Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, kind of, hinting at the a little bit of a distraction, kind of like the New Age Outlaws like to do to them so often. So we go on to the bout, and we have Blackjack Bradshaw and Blackjack Windham taking on Road Dogg, Jesse James, and Badass Billy Gunn. It's going to be, what are you guys, mid-carders? Yeah. So about 8 minutes. So let's give them the 8-minute match with, it's going to be open, and it's going to end with a distraction of Road Dogg getting distracted by Ken Shamrock, leading to Blackjack Bradshaw. No, not Bradshaw. Yes, Bradshaw. Pinning Road Dogg with a flash pinfall. Let's keep Road Dogg strong. Let's protect Road Dogg. Alrighty then. So there's that match, and the reason why I'm having the new Blackjack winning out of nowhere, some of you are probably like, what the heck are you doing, OMG? You've been building up the Outlaws versus the winning combination, and yeah, I have been, and I completely planned on doing the Outlaws and the combination at Over the Edge and blowing off the feud, but then I noticed that, oh crap, they have already taken each other on 3 times, and the 4th match would be just bomb. If none of you know what I'm talking about, in Total Extreme Wrestling, if certain superstars, I don't know the gap between times, if some of you guys can elaborate on that in the comments section, go right ahead, but you can only have a certain amount of, a certain matchup between either one-on-one, 2, it doesn't matter what kind of match it is, if you have it at least 3 times, the 4th time is almost guaranteed to bomb a match. It's almost more lucky to have a match that does well than it does to bomb. It could be a fatal 4-way, it could be any kind of match. If it consists of the same competitors, people are apparently just going to get bored of it the 3rd time, which I don't believe is true, and I think that's something that needs to be edited. And we're going to cover that in an upcoming series that I'm going to be starting that I don't want to announce right now, but I just kind of wanted to get you guys a little excited about it. Maybe you guys wonder what it's about. So the way to counter that and still have a tag team match, we're going to have the Blackjacks win and kind of this be like the blow off of the feud right here where not the Outlaws, the winning combination gets the last laugh on the Outlaws. Also, going to take a drink. Oh, that's good. All right. So after that, I think what will be fun is we're going to do another angle, and it's going to be a backstage interview, not a backstage beatdown. Why am I all the way here? What am I doing here? Jeez. Not that. A backstage interview where it's going to be a hype, and I think this will be a lot of fun because it's going to be The Rock and Goldust hyping the upcoming bout against Mankind and Owen Hart. And the reason why I think this will be a lot of fun is just imagine The Rock in this state of his career where he's extremely cocky, thinking he's the best, talking in 3rd person like he always has, but right here he's doing it to be more of, like a snarky asshole. And you have Goldust sitting there doing his weird, ooh, I'm Goldust, golden gloves, blah, blah, blah. And I can just see The Rock being completely weirded out, hyping up, hey, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Fun stuff right there. I think it'll be a fun interview. We're going to give it 6 minutes. And I'm glad The Rock is okay with not going off script. And then following that, I'm going to do a psych up. And we are also going to clone this and have it, not that one. This based off entertainment as well. I'm going to let Mankind do a little bit of talking. So it's going to be Owen Hart psyching up Mankind for the upcoming tag team match. Give that 2 minutes, and we're going to move on to well, actually, we're going to do a match announcement real quick. Actually, let's do that afterwards because I want. God, by the way, this is going to be a tag team night. We're having a lot of tag team matches. Sorry if it's not your kind of thing, but that's what we're doing. So following that, we're going to do a tag team match. And I'd like to imagine the announcers briefly talk about if the Kings win this match, Brian Christopher gets a title shot at Over the Edge. So it's going to be the Kings versus Taka Michinoku and Jushin Thunder Liger. And I believe this is not the. I believe they're all like mostly lower mid card. It's besides Mark Miro, right? Oh no, Jushin Liger's a mid carder. As is Taka Michinoku. Good for you. We're gonna give you guys 8 minutes then. With Brian Christopher pinning Taka Michinoku. And it's going to end with distraction of Jushin Liger being distracted by Sable because she's doing some sexy thing. And, well, Jushin Thunder Liger is into that kind of thing, nerds and geeks. He's a pervert, don't you? If any of you guys watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, I am almost positive he's a pervert. Anytime one of the women's out there, and if Jushin Liger is on commentary, he's like, "Whoa, nabahaha," like he's always laughing and giggling. And I don't speak Japanese, but I'm almost positive I know what he's hinting at. Just saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay, after that, I want to do a match announcement. And my mom is coming upstairs most likely, so we may or may not have to mute the microphone. Graphic is shown. Okay, this is what I want. We're going to be doing this, and it's going to be hyping that Ahmed Johnson is going to be in tag team action against Bully Ray Dudley and Dirty Devon. And I did that wrong. Gosh darn it. There we go. So Ahmed Johnson's going to be in action against the Dudley Boys. And he's gonna have to find himself a tag team partner. And then we are going to go into the back where Ahmed Johnson is going to be hyping that same match. Isn't there one where it's like hypes? Alright, well, we'll have to just create it. So let's clone this. Subject. We're not going to have them rated. Commentary. Not meaning to press that. Didn't mean to do that either. 2 and 3. And gibberish. Alrighty then. So we go on to that. Ahmed Johnson hyping up the bout against the Dudleys. Give him about 2 minutes. 1 second. My apologies, nerds and geeks. Should we do 2 or 3? Let's do 2 minutes. Doesn't need to be that long. And then we're going to go to another angle where it'll be kind of like hype by manager, but it's not necessarily going to be by manager. I'm just going to just clone this one here. SF4, right? Yes. And then just gibberish. So he'll be. This is going to follow it after the commercial break, and it'll be Rob Van Dam out with both Bully and Dirty Devon, kind of mocking Ahmed Johnson, saying how he doesn't really have any friends, and he has friends, of course. And, you know, come over the edge, he's going to be the new European champion. And then this leads to Ahmed Johnson coming out and revealing his mystery partner to be. It's not Rob Van Dam. What am I doing? D'Lo Brown. Give that another 2 minutes. Go on to the tag match. And I think I may have overbooked myself here, nerds and geeks. May have overbooked a little bit. I thought I had a lot more time than I did. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh boy. So, we have the Dudley Boys versus the team of Ahmed Johnson and D'Lo Brown. Have we done this match? No, just in the Battle Royal. And I'm going to give you guys 8 minutes with Ahmed getting the victory in a open bout. RVD was going to be on commentary. And I was going to have another angle run after this where RVD was kind of going to like try to attack Ahmed Johnson, but it didn't. But I'm not now because I only have 27 minutes left, and I got to fit in the main event. So let's put the main event in now. It was going to be D-Generation X versus the Winning Combination. They've only had the one bout, which was friggin' fantastic. This is going to go for a 16-minute mark as well. It's going to be for the tag team titles. And Ken Shamrock is going to beat Shawn Michaels in an open, slow-built match with distraction. It's going to be kind of distraction-y, but not necessarily. Well, yeah, with Triple H being distracted by, and let's make sure it ends by pinfall as well. I don't want no submission. And is Shawn going to complain? Yes, he will. Might have to give him a bonus if he complains too much. Protect, possibly. Thank God. All right. And then we are going to also do guest color commentary, where it's going to be Steve Austin. I don't know if I put him on there, so I'll have to do it. It's going to be before that match, and I think we are going to have enough time. I am allowed to go a little bit over, so sweet. So let me just make sure I booked this right as well. Shamrock, Michaels, open, slow build. Yep. And the reasoning here is I'd like to have, Austin on commentary and Triple H getting in his face, leading to Shawn Michaels getting, pinned by Shamrock for the retain. And then we are going to put in our other tag team match, which was The Rock and Goldust versus Owen Hart and Mankind. We're going to give you guys 10 minutes, I think, is fine. And I'm going to give Mankind the victory. He's going to pin Goldust. It's going to be an open, all-out match. And we have just, yes, this is perfect. Also, I am going to move this Owen Hart Sykes up Mankind in between the Dudleys right there. And then after the Rock match, I'd like to have a post-match attack where Goldust is like, explaining himself to The Rock, like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 like, something like that, and then The Rock just kind of, like, gives him the rock bottom as he walks out, And, yeah, I think that's the show there, Nerds and Geeks. I think I actually got everything I wanted on there. I mean, I didn't get Vader or Kane, unfortunately. No, I didn't get everything on there. No. Shoot. It's only 3 minutes. I guess we'll do a quick, 1 second, Nerds and Geeks. We'll do a quick little 3-minute promo with Jeff Jarrett. Hold on. Whatever. I saved it already, so I'm not going to... Oh, no! I'm not using this promo. I didn't mean to do all that. It's going to have to just live in there in misery. Gosh darn it, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I guess that gives me time to fix everything else that I messed up on. So we're going to go to tag. going to take out this person, because we don't need him. And you're just going to be not rated in the back. It's going to be gibberish, commentary. There we go. And there we go. And so basically the premise behind this is just Jeff Jarrett is on his little studio or his farm or something like that. And pretty much saying that, this Sunday when Taker gets in the ring with me, I'm going to show him blah, 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 or some stupid shit like that. Then I'm going to do a tag team match on the pre-show. We're going to do exclude all booked, by the way, just because I don't like that. Legion of Doom is going to battle Kane and Vader. Give them about 8 minutes with Kane getting the victory decisively. Just to get Kane and Vader on the show. And, yeah, I think that's it. All right. Welcome to the Nerds and Geeks who looked in the description to skip ahead. This is the go-home show to Over the Edge, and I really like the way it came out. I mean, it's a lot of tag team matches, but I think it's going to be a really fun show, so let's get started. Let's run it. Only one pre-show match tonight, and it is with Kane and Vader teaming up for the first time ever, and possibly the only time ever. Who knows how it works out. They did get neutral chemistry. Taking on the Legion of Doom, we had a match that had some good action and average heat. Kane and Vader defeating Legion of Doom when Kane defeated Animal with the choke slam. We're in Oklahoma Rose Garden in front of 14,093 people. The pre-show bout got a 62C. Paul Bearer doing some good work ringside, and of course him and Kane have good chemistry together. Sonny also doing good work ringside, and the announcing quality lifted the match as well. Also, Animals improving in performance. That's awesome. Then we move on to the actual show. Starts off with Stone Cold Steve Austin's music hitting as he heads down to the ring. Coming down to the ring, hyping up his bout with Triple H, talking about what he's going to do to the Triple H this Sunday. I know he didn't do the what thing at the moment, but I like him to be like, you know what I'm going to do? If you want me to stomp a mud hole in Triple H's head, give me a hell yeah. All that stuff. Pretty much just talking about how he's going to brutally beat down on the game, or he's not the game yet, he's just Triple H this Sunday at Over the Edge. So this got an 80B, good way to start off the show. And it leads to Mr. McMahon interrupting Stone Cold Steve Austin as he heads down to the ring, informing that Austin needs to make it to Over the Edge as the champion in order to fight Triple H, and then informs him that he's going to be in a match coming up next, defending his world title against Farouk. He reminds the crowd, of course, that Farouk is the first ever African-American world champion, something this mod didn't include in here, so I just thought about that now. I didn't really think about that when I was booking it, but I would like to imagine, that's Vince's way of putting it over. Farouk may be coming out and saying that, even though I only based him off of overness. So I can imagine Farouk coming out there saying, oh yeah, I was the first ever African American world champion, and I'm gonna be the first ever African American World Wrestling Federation champion or something like that. But yeah, the mod didn't. I looked in Farouk's bio and his title history, and it didn't list that. It listed him as a tag team champion, but not the world champion of WCW, which he was. Either way, Austin came across well. Farouk looked lost. I expected a little bit better in this, and unfortunately, I still haven't put in the whatever it's called, the dirt sheet right there, so I won't know why. But I'm gonna assume it was because of Farouk mostly. But I expected this to do a little better. I'm a little sad about that, but whatever. We go on to our opening bout, which is for... Wow, good match. Okay, wow. So, either way, opening bout, which is for the WWF World Heavyweight title. A nice treat. A bout that featured great action and average heat. Stone Cold Steve Austin defeating Farouk in 16 minutes and 24 seconds by pinfall. and he makes defense number 4 of his world title. We got an 81B, which is freaking great. Steve Austin and Farouk also have pretty good chemistry, which lifted the match. Unfortunately, there was not enough selling shown, which, come on, guys. Stop no-selling each other. No skill improvements, though, unfortunately, but I'm very satisfied with that grade. An 81B to start off the show, hell yeah. The only thing that worries me is we might just be going down from here. And then this was nice. I love this. Of course, Mr. McMahon was on commentary for the previous match. After this, it's just a quick little angle. I created it myself. Steve Austin, after winning the match, to add insult to injury, goes over to the commentary table and flips the bird to Mr. McMahon. Got a 77B, and I would imagine the crowd would flip over that in real life at this time too. And of course, Mr. McMahon was superb. He was on the commentary table at the time, so he's like, "What? How dare you?" I can just imagine him saying that. So, hot start to Monday Night Raw. Really happy with that. Then the announcers put over later on tonight in the main event, we are going to see the tag team titles on the line. As of last week, D-Generation X defeated the tag team champions, earning a title shot tonight, and we will see that in the main event. And this leads to a interview backstage where the New Age Outlaws are furious that they just found out that they have to defend or, earn a #1 contendership despite being the former tag team champions and being promised a rematch clause. And they're finding out that they have to fight the Blackjacks, who hasn't really done anything to earn a championship match, and they feel like a little bit of a conspiracy theories going on there. I flicked my microphone. My apologies for that if you heard anything. And they're pretty much irritated that they have to earn a title match, and this leads into our next match. But before that, we have a little bit of a tease angle in a way. Throughout the entire rivalry between these two tag teams, the winning combination and the Outlaws, the Outlaws like to come out and scout the winning combination. So the combination came out and decided to scout the Outlaws this time to, a little bit of insult to the New Age Outlaws, which not a bad rating for. Just a little bit of I guess it is a tag team feud, so I don't know really what I'm expecting from it. We go on to the match, which gets a 53 C-. Some good action, but not much Wayne heat. The New Blackjacks surprisingly defeating the New Age Outlaws when Bradshaw defeated Road Dogg after a distraction from Ken Shamrock, and it was a flash pinfall, so it was like a quick little roll-up. I'd like to imagine, Road Dogg being distracted by Shamrock, and Road Dogg like yelling at Shamrock, like, "Hey, you mind your own business," and then Bradshaw just rolls him up. 1, 2, 3, and then, Jim Ross, "Oh my God, the Blackjacks are the #1 contenders," just like that. And the Blackjacks, of course, going on to now take on either D-Generation X or the winning combination at Over the Edge. And of course the Outlaws are most likely furious. I didn't show anything or any fallout, but I would imagine. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, of course, have great chemistry when teaming with each other, and Blackjack Bradshaw is also improving in performance skill. So not a bad rating there. We then go on to a 73 B-. I'm a little disappointed with this because I just imagine it myself being such a funny angle because they're such different personas. But Rock and Goldust pretty much just hyping Mankind, or the match against Mankind and Owen later on tonight. And like I said, I just imagine it being hilarious, like where The Rock is just talking about himself, and then they both talk in third party, like he's like Goldust, and he's like, The Rock's always like, The Rock said. So I thought this would maybe do a little bit better, but not too bad, I guess. I'd like to imagine maybe Luna Vacone did something bad, but it does say she helped Goldust. Either way, I still think that would have been a fun angle in real life. We then go on to our next match, which I would like to imagine the color commentators putting over the fact that if the Kings win tonight, Brian Christopher earns a light heavyweight title match against Taka Michinoku. About that, it's solid ring action, but non-existent crowd heat. The Kings do indeed defeat Taka and Liger when Brian Christopher defeated Taka Michinoku with the Tennessee Jam after Sable interfered. I like to, like I was saying before, Sable, I'd like to imagine that she would be distracting Jushin Liger. I view Liger as kind of a pervert. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I can imagine him being like, "Ooh, Sable, she's so sexy, la 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 la," leading to, Taka getting pinned. And Brian Christopher is also improving in performance skill, and that does confirm our match at Over the Edge, which we can delete the booking for that. I didn't put it in there. Booking for Over the Edge. Oh, delete that booking, by the way. By the way, if I did hold a #1 contendership match before, Ignore that. I had to reverse it because, as I said prior, before I skipped ahead, that the winning combination, the New Age Outlaws have faced each other too much in between here, so I had to cut the match, unfortunately. Then we go to Jeff Jarrett and Kid Cash. I can imagine Kid Cash just, in the background, like working on the farm while Jeff Jarrett's sitting there like, sorry I couldn't be there tonight, blah, twirling with his guitar, pretty much talking about how he's going to beat down on The Undertaker at Over the Edge. Taker doesn't stand a chance. Just hyping the storyline. Again, I'd like to see a little bit of a better rating here, but what can you do? And then the announcers put over that we will see Ahmed Johnson with a mystery partner taking on the Dudleys tonight. What can you expect with this? I'm not really too worried about that. Then we have Ahmed Johnson hyping that said match. Gets a better rating. We then move on to that said match, but first RVD cuts a horrible, I don't know why this did so bad. I had to install Dirt Sheet so I can see why. Because it says RVD has strong entertainment, but he hypes up the match with them, pretty much just mocking Ahmed Johnson. We then go to Ahmed Johnson introducing his partner, which is D'Lo Brown. And then, wow, really? Is it the Dudleys? Like, what is it? I don't know what it is, Nerds and Geeks, but I really expected this to do a lot better. This is not doing good. The RVD is really disappointing me in this storyline. I thought he would be doing a lot better. Freaking the light heavyweight title match, or tag team match, was better than this match. So we get a 48D plus, solid reaction, not much weight in heat. Ahmed Johnson and D'Lo Brown defeating the Dudleys when Ahmed Johnson defeated Dirty Devon with Spinebuster. Color commentary apparently gave it a boost, and Bill Alfonso did some good work. I don't know why this did so bad. I'll have to get Dirt Sheet installed, like I said. Wish I had it now. Then we have Owen Hart psyching Mankind up for the upcoming match. We move on to that said upcoming match that gets a 63C. Again, I wish it would have done a little bit better, but whatever. What can you do? Featured great action and average heat. Owen Hart and Mankind defeating The Rock and Goldust after Mankind defeated Goldust with the pile driver. Mankind's improving in technical and Owen's improving in performance. And then after that, we just have The Rock give like Goldust a rock bottom because, after Goldust is trying to explain himself to The Rock. Just to kind of separate The Rock from, the likes of Goldust, showing that, he is irritated that they lost. Steve Austin saves the day with an 80B. Comes down just to do color commentary for the next match. And the main event gets an 80B as well. I think this is exactly what they got last week, but I'm satisfied with it. We started off with an 81B, ended with an 80B. Featured great action and average heat. The winning combination defeating D-Generation X in 15 minutes and 48 seconds. When Ken Shamrock defeated Shawn Michaels by pinfall. I don't know why it says using the ropes for leverage. I wish it didn't, but it does. They make defense number 2 of the WWF World Tag Team titles. Triple H and Chyna are a good pairing, play off each other well. And all in all, this did good. 80B. I'm satisfied with it. And as I said before, the way I'd like to imagine it going down, Triple H being distracted by Stone Cold, of course, being on commentary. Them going a little back and forth, which allows Shamrock to pin Shawn Michaels for the victory. And our show increased in 11 regions. No decrease in any region, so all in all, not a bad show. I kind of wish it was a better grade than a 76B-. I feel like it deserves to be a better grade, but either way, still not a bad grade. Still just feel like it deserves to be a little better than that. I think that show was a lot better than what Total Extreme Wrestling thought it was. Although I will say RVD and company definitely disappointed. And it was definitely RVD because when Ahmed Johnson and D'Lo Brown did their thing, they were fine. They got like C's, which isn't too bad. So we did, what was it again? A 76B-, and Nitro blew us away with an 82B. Although their main event is the exact same rating as ours, they apparently had a way good skit. So I don't see why they got an 82B and we did worse, but I guess. We are second, though, so At least we're there. Oh my God, New Japan Pro Wrestling signed Sylvester Stallone? Now that's hilarious. Does he speaks passable Mediterranean? Why did they hire him? Whatever. That's funny. New Japan Wrestling hired Sylvester Stallone. Now look, UPW got a Marty Jannetty and Shark Boy. And Sherry Martel, so I shouldn't pick on them too much, but I guess we should be celebrating Shark Boy more. I mean, got a job at UPW and IWAMS. Shark Boy. What a weird gimmick. That actually somehow works. Our ratings went up on J Sport, down on TSN, and they went up in USA. So that's pretty rad. Before we end this off, I do want to book in the tag team title match because it was confirmed after the winning combination won their match that they are going to be battling the new Blackjacks. And then I think we have that confirmed, right? Ahmed Johnson's match with RVD. Yes, we do. I'm not sure if we have the Owen Hart match, but if we don't, we'll put it in. But if we do, then that's everything. No, we don't. So let's add that in real quick. Owen and Goldust again. All right. Just look at the storylines real quick. This is doing pretty bad, actually. I'm a little disappointed here. But everything else doing all right. Not too bad. And let's just simulate forward one more day since Shotgun's next night. And then we'll end off this episode. And I'll see you guys for Over the Edge, which I'm going to book tonight as well. You know, I'm thinking maybe I will bring it. I was looking at the Jerry Sags, they were reading him, and maybe I'll bring in the Nasty Boys at some point. Hiroshi Tenzan making a babyface turn. 7-year pro at this moment. Oh, look at that, Charlie Haas. And, yeah, look at that. Before we end this off, let's just check this out real quick. Rock's still up there, huh? Alright, nothing too special there. Alright, Nerds and Geeks, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have. And, of course, my name's been OMGWTF, LOL, FTW, BRB, and I'll see you guys for Over the Edge. So until then, have a wonderful day, guys.